Play your video.
Yo, it's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond.
It's your boy D, aka Mr. Live and Five himself.
And we are the Where You Ass Podcast. And we have a special guest in the building tonight, Mr. J-Darius.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Are you visiting from San Antonio?
I am.
So from San Antonio, Texas, you all just announced that you are an ambassador MVP.
I am.
MVP Vibe.
I
Congratulations.
am. Thank you.
If you don't know what MVP Vibe is, it is a Black-owned social media site, kind of like Instagram mixed TikTok, I guess. Kind of
Yeah,
like,
with music.
with music. So support Black-owned businesses and stuff like that.
It's an app.
It's an app. We're on it. I just put us on it. I've been on it, but I just put our podcast on it, so it's dope. And I got some exciting news about that too, but I can't announce it yet. So
And
shout out to
so
MVP.
what entails? Because I see that a lot. I know that people is like, from what I've seen, Nike ambassador or clothing line. What does it entail? Like?
So kind of same idea. So we'll get special merchandise and stuff like that. That'll have MVP vibe on it. We're gonna get access to do like special performances. We'll do performances even in the app. So like you have to be have an account to see our performances in the app. And even some live shows.
Cause there's some new features that they're gonna have coming out on the app right now that they've seen other apps and they've taken and made it better. So kind of like if you've seen what's that new app that everybody was on where you just talk?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, kind of like Clubhouse but better. So they see.
Clubhouse, I was on there, but I got off.
I didn't know that was
too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you get a Clubhouse?
no room that I went in, nobody was listening. It was just arguing.
But I don't mind when you get into the rooms and you have a conversation. Like we're having, that's fine. But when you start doing play your song over the phone, I'm like, yeah, you know that audio is gonna suck. You can't play songs over the phone. Nah. That's not it. But
yeah, I got on there a couple of times. I listened to a couple of debates and a couple of like lectures. I think I listened to one Farrakhan, like half of his lecture on there. I think it was pre-recorded though. I don't think it was actually him, but I mean it was cool. Other than that, if you go to these celebrities' rooms and stuff, it ain't nothing but a whole bunch of arguing. That's all it is. I'm like, nah, I got off. You're just taking up data in my phone. I got off quick. I think I was on there for like 2 weeks. It's too much. That's how I started off with
2 weeks, but
I started off on Facebook. When I first got Facebook, when I got on there, I said, because I was on Instagram only at first, and I got on Facebook, and I was like, man, this is too much. Like, ain't nobody doing nothing on here. It's just a whole bunch of crying and sad stories. Go back to Instagram. Because on Instagram, we run into a lot of people that's influencers that's like giving you education and putting you up on game and stuff. On Facebook, you don't get that. It's just people on there just depressed. I was like, I don't want. And then so finally, I just started using my platform. I think it just changes your algorithm, and then you can start seeing other people, especially if you're not private. So it was all right. Instagram is still better. It's still better than Facebook to me. And just on Facebook, I talk more shit. I got a longer, instead of posting a picture and writing a long paragraph under it, I can just.
You just go in.
Yeah, I just go in on the post.
Well, before we get into our topics tonight, because we do have a couple of topics brought to you by our co-host Travis, T1. I always like Travis. T1. By T1. Let's talk about your new album that you have out.
Thank you.
Tell us the name of it. Tell us the inspiration behind it.
Sure. So, this is my debut album. It's called The Love Project. And so it's basically kind of a journey through the ins and outs of relationships and, the feelings of love, loss, all of that. And I was kind of just inspired to do it just because it just felt right. It just felt like music that I would want to hear right now that I think other people would want to hear. And, it's just kind of starts with that super, super love journey. And then it starts to get into more complicated songs after that.
You just recently celebrated your anniversary, right?
My wedding anniversary? That was in October.
Oh, in October. So how long have you been married?
I've been married 6 years.
6 years, and you got 12.
Oh, wow. I got
12.
Wow.
Dang. And I'm the only single one here.
I've been with my wife for 18, though.
Wow.
You have kids? How many
No kids
No
yet.
kids yet.
No kids
You want
yet.
kids?
Oh, yeah. For sure. I love kids.
Yeah.
Thank you, OT, for tuning in.
Hey,
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, because we was just listening to some of your songs on the way here, and I was getting a neo soul type of
Absolutely.
vibe. So,
Absolutely.
because it was like, it was something that you can listen to, like say y'all having a gathering at the house, and it's just some mature people, wine and stuff like that. That's something you can have playing in the background.
Absolutely.
It's not aggressive.
Absolutely.
You know, like R&B music now is like you can listen to some like Genuine, and then all of a sudden he talking about
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you just saying,
Play
God,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that was the vibe. So I wanted to ask, because I know everybody has their own definition of love. To you, what is your definition of love?
To me, love is unconditional, and you know, I took a lot of that from the Bible, like love is patient, love is kind, which I even put in one of my songs. But yeah, it's something that's unconditional, even like for your wife, your child.
Right.
You know, it's not I love you today and I don't love you tomorrow. Like, I love you and that's it. No matter what you do, no matter what happens, like this is it.
So even cheating?
Even cheating. Now that love is not dumb.
Okay.
Just because you love someone doesn't mean your brain stops working.
Right. Still gotta have common sense.
But you know, that's something that you gotta work out with your partner, and if that's something that you can come back from.
I think people don't realize, and for me keeping it biblical, people don't realize how much you cheat on the person that you say you love. Like you say you love God to the utmost.
Sure.
But we literally spiritually cheat on him every day.
Sin.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when you take that and you like, what if he take the same action and look out on me as I'm doing my loved one? So if my wife or whatever cheats on me and I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. That we're literally doing the same thing. And he's like, how many chances have I gave you?
Sure. And
you give one person this, being that we human and you know, of course we think with our flesh. When we take those actions, sometimes a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people are just hurt and they didn't have nobody to talk to and actually they didn't have those examples of love.
Sure.
So their definition of love is probably totally different.
Yeah, it can be tainted and can be different.
Right.
But also, it's your responsibility to come to terms with that. You know, whether that's through your own work or therapy or what have you, spiritual, whatever. Like, you got to do that work to come to terms with that. And hopefully you would do that before you get in a relationship with somebody. But for most of us, we go into the relationship and then go, oh, I need to fix some things that are out of order. But, you know, we're all striving to be our best selves. But, yeah, I think that's something that you got to come to terms with yourself. And then you can align with somebody and come to an agreement on that.
Right.
But yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Shout out to Nene Anderson for tuning in. DW Goodlow for tuning in. OJ says that facts. I agree, love is not dumb and it's better caution to know what love doesn't look like. Point blank.
That's it.
Tell them
right. Well, you know what's crazy is I think that's what's so complex about the word love is because to some people, if somebody has been abusive to you, that's their definition of love.
Sure.
You know, that's why a lot of people stay in abusive relationships.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
You know, this is he loves me.
Right.
This
Absolutely.
is happening, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's what's so
comes and treats them nice and takes them out. They go, ooh, this is
love. I was toxic. That wasn't love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be rough and tough and slap me around.
Yeah, and then I think that toxic thing is trending right now. So a lot of people is jumping on that bandwagon. Like, I'm toxic.
Number one.
Oh my God.
Like, I love Summer Walker's music, but she does like toxic. And it goes number one.
Megan Thee Stallion too. That's why I was saying, like, these new generation of chicks they not, like, I never heard
that. But it's
nothing
different
positive.
for men, because a man can't do the same thing and still go number one, rapper or singer.
No, that's not true, because Jay-Z talk about drugs a lot in his, but he's also giving you gems in there. So he's telling you, I used to do this, and
no,
this.
I'm saying being
toxic.
Like a woman can make a song about. No, I meant like as a relationship wise. Relationship wise, like a woman can say men ain't ish and go number one, but for men making songs talking about women ain't ish, you're like, oh no, cancel.
You have Confessions, but Confessions is still like him, like he did all these things wrong, and now like he's.
I thought Confession was Jermaine Dupri.
Well, like what Usher.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that was a huge album.
Yeah, that was.
Which was surrounded by like a lot of toxic stuff, but it was more about like how he did her wrong.
Right.
Not necessarily the other way around.
Yeah. Okay, so the word toxic is overused. I feel like some people can't tell the difference anymore.
Yeah. I ain't never even jumped on that toxic wave. It was just nonsense. I don't know. I don't even know why that's attractive.
Some people, like you said, some people grow up in toxicity, so they're like, "Oh, that's just normal." Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like cussing out your baby dad's mom. Like, it's just like, okay, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, they don't see that as being disrespectful.
It's just like that's too.
I need to do that. Like,
that phrase.
Our community, man. Hey, man, your life. If you respect your mom and no matter what, if you respect your mom and your dad, your days are longer. That's true. A lot of people that's dead and gone. If you look at like street violence, a lot of people didn't respect their parents. Like I remember I seen that in a rap battle. You probably can. It might be Surf and Geechee Gotti and Surf, I think. And Surf was telling Geechee like, "You've been locked up." No, with the dreads. Arsenal was telling Geechee like, "Yeah, you on here talking about how much you been in jail and stuff like that. All that time you was in there, you missing out with your kids." So, yeah, you getting stripes, but the underlining is you affecting your kids because now your kids bragging is, "Oh yeah, my dad been in jail." You know, yeah, right. So
they think once they're just waiting for their turn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, like if you look at children, or I'll just say young boys that follow that path. Look, if there's a correlation to where they got introduced to the street life and their daddy got introduced to it, and it's always a couple years, like moved up for the child than it was. So if Pops got introduced at 16, right? Son got introduced at 14, possibly even 13, depending on where they at. So it's
that cycle.
Yeah.
Nene Anderson says some families are like that, so that's all we know is toxic.
Yeah,
that's true.
But you can always change.
You can, if you surround. That's why I think it's important to surround yourself, change your circle. That's very important because sometimes your circle can dictate how you react to certain situations. When I was kicking it with my homeboys, we was in our 20s. The only reaction we had was fight. It was violence. That was the only reaction. Now it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave. Ain't nobody fighting anyway. No more. Man, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's
a perfect
segue into
perfect segue into what's going on. So, the Detroit high school shooting. It's not so much the shooting. It's not so much
the video part, right?
Not even that. It's not so much the event. It's what the event represents. I don't recall when I was coming up, my mama and my aunts, my uncles, having a conversation amongst each other, saying, I gotta worry about sending them out to school and somebody random for no apparent reason, whether it be a child that went to the school or some adult decided to run up in there with a firearm and shoot up the whole school. And for me, it kind of goes back to like when I first moved to Texas. That's when the Columbine situation happened.
Columbine, that was the school I was thinking.
That's what that I moved to the Dallas area when I was 13. It was in October.
Yeah, I think October.
2 weeks after that, that's when the Columbine situation happened. And then you started seeing schools like maneuver different, you know what I'm saying? Maneuver different ways. And then there's just been a wave of that since then.
Was Columbine like the biggest?
Yeah, that was the biggest.
First biggest one.
That's the base point. It's Columbine. As far as
for what I know,
from my generation,
right.
That right there. You know what I mean? So it goes now as parents, and me and D were talking about this in private conversation. It was like, how much more do we have to prepare our children just to go to school? Like my daughter's gonna be in the 6th grade next year. That's my oldest baby. And the school that she's zoned for, she's gonna be all right. She's not a defender stuff, but it's not. It goes to the fighting situation. Right. It goes to fighting. Ain't nobody like these kids are like back when we was more susceptible to fist fights.
Sure,
before way.
Yeah,
a firearm was the last resort.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it was usually adult. You know what I'm saying? The family ended up getting
involved.
Yeah, getting involved. Yeah, whatever
the kids was not
like for us. Like I was telling D, whoever had an issue with each other, everybody I don't know whether somebody was on the same. Everybody was on the same time. But like, yo, man, we ain't trying to be suspended. We trying to graduate. Right. So whatever issues we got with each other, there's 2 specific parts of the school year that we can definitely do this.
Right.
That is midterm, and that's final exam right before the summer. And if your grade is high enough, you ain't got to do neither one of them when it comes time. So guess who rumbling at the park at 11:30? Like we not like, you know what I'm saying, like that. So now with the Columbine situation, even back in my hometown in Arlington, there was another school shooting. This bullying. We went from having grown up in an era and in a society and movies reflected it, where if somebody was getting bullied, they went to the boxing gym or the martial arts dojo to learn how to fight.
Right.
And then get them one by one, or you get the main one that's the ringleader, and then it be done after that. Yeah. Now, somebody getting bullied, get jumped, or whatever the case may be, their first thing is, never mind a fight. Right. Clearly, if I try to fight them, this is gonna be the end result. Mm-hmm. I'm about to go get a firearm. And it's happening earlier and earlier.
It is. And I want to say something because you said, what can we do to protect our kids? It's a good question. And I always say it's not too much, because I work at a school and people, you do these lockdown drills all the time, but you got to realize you doing a lockdown drill next to the person who's going to want to shoot him. So they know you're in that classroom quiet. Yeah. Right. They know that you somewhere quiet with the lights off. So it's like, what really protection do we have? That's another thing I just wanted to say.
Even with Travis saying that his daughter's going to the 6th grade, and me, my kids not there yet, but eventually they're gonna be there too. And the way that it's trending is that the school shootings is not slowing down. No. You know what I'm saying? And these kids is getting they're not getting pistols. They're not shooting the school up with pistols.
Well, the one that just recently happened, they stole their father's gun. I think their father just recently bought a gun and he stole the father's gun.
That's what Travis was saying. That reflects on the parents. The parents is just responsible for the shooting as the kid. You know what I'm saying? If the kid is using your firearm, like when you get a gun, I don't have a gun because I feel like I don't want to bring that type of energy. Or, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But eventually, I know the way that the world is operating, you're gonna have to level up your protection, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't. If you do have a gun, I'm pretty sure it's safety protocols of stashing your weapon away. Mm-hmm. These kids is getting these guns a little too easy, and not just like I say, not pistols. They getting assault rifles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different ballgame.
I guess I wonder, like, in going back to the parenting, like, where are the parents? Like, where is my child's getting bullied, and the conversation where the parent steps in to say, "Hey, how are you? What's going on with you? Who's doing what to you?" Like, where are these?
You gotta have that open line of communication too, because even when you do ask your kids that, sometimes kids are like,
they'll hide stuff.
They say it's okay. You gotta be able to you gotta be that parent where your child gets to trust you, but yet you can still parent. Because sometimes it's hard to find that balance. Because if you're that parent that's like, oh, I want you to follow the rules, but I still want you to be cool, they look at you like, nah.
Right. Like,
I think this is why I think a 2-parent household is important. Because usually the kid is gonna, if they don't, like, if Travis daughter don't want to speak to him,
He goes speak to the mom.
they don't speak to the mom.
Mhm.
Sometimes they want to talk to the mom about it. They feel more comfortable with talking to the dad about it. I think that's what's missing, because if it's one parent and they don't want to talk, then they just keeping it to themselves.
And then they going to talk to the wrong people. I'm a product of a single parent home.
Mm-hmm.
Me
You know
too.
what I'm saying? So it's, and it's, just like every other majority of young black kids that you raised by mom.
Mm-hmm.
So and especially for young boys, it's hard. Like, it's hard growing up you're a young man. It's hard growing up under the thumb of your mother. Mm-hmm. It's very hard because your natural testosterone and your natural progression in the primal food chain is combating her motherly instincts of wanting of control.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if there's not a positive male figure there, like, and not even not just a positive and a consistent male figure.
Consistent.
Yeah, whether
You're
it's an uncle, grandfather,
you know what I mean? Like, mentor or whatever, like, you mentor over here, that died off somehow. I'm gravitate to over here, and then somewhere along the line, you ever like look at it, like, next time, like, you go on Excel, just look at a line graph and just pick, and like from point to point, there's this transition. And you never know who you run into in this transition before you get to this next point that you were supposed to be at. That's if you get to that point that you're supposed to be at. Because there's all kinds of snails and pitfalls and potholes and all of that. It's to D's point that, and I'm seeing it for myself, and D can see it for itself too, because we're and I don't know if you have children or not. I don't. Okay, well, you'll see the difference in how you and the difference in your children in comparison to you when you were their age. Because at my kids' age, me and mama. It was me and mama until I was 19, 20, and then I went off home.
Yeah. We also didn't have social media like that.
Nah, social media wasn't jumping like that.
Yeah.
We had MySpace, but MySpace wasn't really like that. It wasn't like
even when we was younger, MySpace wasn't
popping like
that.
No,
that was
popping
the end.
Yeah, that was more so like
I'm 33.
Okay,
so
all of us
are yes, okay, so 06, 07, MySpace. So okay,
yeah, absolutely.
06, 07, MySpace really started.
Sure,
exactly.
Sure.
And so into those freshman year colleges.
It was sites, like, it was a site called College Club, but you needed college information.
That's how Facebook was at first.
Yeah. And we didn't have
That's how
we
it
had
was.
dial-up. That was like
yeah.
it was hard enough to get
I want to make this comment real fast. OT says, it's a real shame that us as a people are not only experiencing racism and segregation in a modern time, but now open season violence from cops and civilians. My little brother was upset the other day when he learned about America's history and asking us, why do we stay here? Why do we stay here?
wow.
Oh,
What do you?
But you got
say that again. Read that. Say that again.
It's a real shame that us as people are not only experiencing racism and segregation in a modern time, but now open season violence from cops and civilians. My little brother was upset the other day when he learned about America's history and asking us, why do we stay here?
Well, I don't know. Y'all want to say something? Okay, so what American history is bad, but what I want people to understand is that, I don't know if y'all agree with this, but everybody's homeland is not Africa.
Right.
Sure.
That's a misconception. So it was people here already.
Right.
So if us leaving, you pretty much could be possibly forfeiting your homeland and going to another stranger's land.
Because I know for a fact, and I found out, I got confirmation on this a little while, like, I think it was like earlier this year. Mm-hmm. Both sides of my family, like my mother, on my grandfather's side and my grandmother's side, Native American.
Okay. You know, a lot of people always say, I got Cherokee in my blood.
Yeah, it's really like that.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. Back then, you didn't
anything, but yeah.
I could be a native.
Right.
That was just something that your grandparents and aunts and everybody, we got Cherokee, but I seen a picture of I want to say my mom. It was my great granddad's mom. She was full Cherokee.
Yeah, I seen my papa, my mom's dad, his grandma, she was full Cherokee. My mother looks exactly like that one.
My great grandmother has some Indian in it.
And a lot of people don't. A lot of what they don't teach in school stuff is a lot of people don't understand that, like, majority of the slaves went to the Caribbean. The mass majority, 5% of the slaves came here.
Yeah.
So imagine.
Why you think Haiti looked the way it looked?
Right. Imagine
Dominican Republic and all of that. Why
you know what I'm saying? You know, if you go, me and my wife, our honeymoon. Finally, we took our honeymoon after a long time. But, you know.
Hey, did it.
We did it, you know. So we got our
kids.
We got our passports and we went to Cancun.
And we're in the islands too.
Yeah.
We're in the islands too. Like, I found that. It was my mom when I found, because you know how I am about the the Polynesian culture.
Right.
I got a book, a very credible book, and I found out it was credible through the people that found out I was reading it. And
because you got people, because you talked about you chopped it up with one of your homeboys before you got the
exactly. You feel what I'm saying? And then but this was after I got everything, and I saw that book, because it's all kinds of different books talking about X, Y, and Z, but this particular one, a lot of vouch for it. They was like, yeah, this is true. This is true, because there's stories in there, like real, like a lack of a better term, travelocity through it. There's a path that you can follow.
Yeah.
And literally there's a picture of I'll just say the atlas. And all the center point is in the continent of Africa. And it's spread out to the islands, to here, not just, I ain't talking just Haiti and Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. I'm talking about New Zealand, Australia, where the indigenous people.
Sure.
You feel what I'm saying?
Aborigine.
Yeah, all of that. You know what I mean? So
we get like,
and my staff sergeant put me onto that. Staff sergeant put me onto that.
We get like the small piece of history throughout school. I think you started learning more in college versus your grade school and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, my wife told me, like, she said we got a certain way of teaching when you're in grade school, but once you get to college, it expands. Now you got these African literature classes, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, that's cool. I still my kids, I still make sure I give my kids some information just to make sure that they gotta learn what they gotta learn in school, because that's what they're getting graded off of. But at the end of the day, y'all still need to know it's something else going on outside of that. So,
and I mean, I think it goes back to what we're talking about, like the school violence. There's this parenting aspect. Like, there's still things that you have to talk about and teach your children at home. Like, that they may not learn anywhere else, and you can't expect school system or whoever to come in and teach them all these things. Like, there's a role in parenting. Right. And I don't have kids yet, but I came from a 2-parent household. Right. And that was just, there's certain things I learned that at home. Like, right. I learned, behavior, things like I learned that at home. I don't need you to teach me how to sit here and behave. I already know how to do that. Right. Let's get to the teaching. Let's get to the education part. Right. I used to think it was weird when kids were getting in trouble for behavior. I'm like, we're not even here to do that. We're here to learn. Like, that's it. That's all we're here to do.
Kids didn't learn that at home.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I used to substitute teach all the time, and I was like, oh wow.
Well, I know you caught hell.
That's like,
I thought about doing that.
I know how we used to do.
Substitute.
I see it all the time. I work at elementary.
You walk in the class, you like
time.
Oh yeah.
It's the sub.
Oh yeah. So they finna be live. All right.
Turn up.
Middle school had
time up.
Like, cut that. That's just weird. And high school was like too close in age. I was like,
yeah,
I can come in, tell the elementary kids, hey, be quiet.
Right.
Let's do this packet or whatever. But but you see those gaps. Like, you see the kids whose parents work with them at home, and you see the kids who are just getting by. They're getting pushed from grade to grade.
Especially the ones that are the stars, the football stars, the basketball stars.
They get pushed.
It's just enough to keep them on.
Man,
on that.
Travis, you watch sports?
Every now and then.
So Travis don't know who I'm talking about, but it's a dude named Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Top 10 running back, I'm gonna say overall, like stat wise.
Right.
Went to Miami,
I believe so.
University of Miami. Did not know how to read.
Mm.
Made it all the way to the NFL. Did not know how to read.
What is service?
You know what I'm saying? That's like
the one thing.
Well, just like that singer Fantasia. Remember how
Oh,
she
yeah,
knew
she
how
know how
to
to
read
read.
her contract?
She was listening to the music
right.
and memorizing it.
Just
like
drum
drumline.
contract, and she
Yeah,
signed
it's
her
like-
contract.
Same thing.
Now that's a good. Drumline was a perfect example of not everybody learns the same.
Sure, absolutely.
Because like my thing is like I don't care if you can like by the time you can, but when it's time to perform, can you produce this real quick? Because clearly, because you remember the scene where he tried to play him in front of his girl,
Right.
and then and like literally 2 seconds after he had got done, he couldn't even get his next word out before he.
Yeah.
Right.
Like his brain don't work like that.
He was different. And that's with the education, dude. I think kids learn different, but they all being trying to get taught the same way.
Absolutely.
My sister used to get in trouble in school because she was too smart. So she had finished her work and now she ain't got nothing to do. So now she's gonna be picking with her. You know what I'm saying? So she used to get in trouble for that. I'm like, we need to have. I think that's when I don't know if y'all had this in high school, but we used to have like the Magna program and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was
Magna school.
Magna
Sure,
school. Yeah. So they used to have those programs, and then you had regular classes. So,
Right.
but I don't know if they still have those.
I haven't heard too many, but I mean, I know.
I don't know if it's as
They
big
do
as
It was real popular.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
not it,
I think
but-
they converted them into middle schools, like whatever there were magnet schools back then. I think they converted them into them, and now they're building.
They do have some.
Yeah, because I used to
Not as
drop
many.
some kids off when I
It's
was
not
in
as
Russell. I used
many.
to drop like magnet students off to
Sure.
certain schools, and those kids they wasn't zoned. They can go to whichever magnet school.
Sometimes
Those
I feel like
career
it's up to
technology schools now, right?
Yeah.
And they have a lot
Sometimes
of
it's
early
up to
college.
Early college.
Yeah,
See, they started that probably around when y'all was, because when we was there, we did it 1 year when I was there. We came in, we actually got paid to come to school during the summer, and they taught us computer tech and business information.
That's during the summer, but the early college is during the school year.
Yeah.
But we got college credits for that.
Oh.
So it transferred. Like, if you
Oh,
wanna
they call
go
that
to
what do they call that?
I can't think of it.
It's like you go to school half the day and then like you leave.
Like
Not
Co-op.
co-op.
Something like that. I forget. It's something like that. I forgot what
Something
we
like
called it, but
yeah.
it was just
Oh, yeah,
like
'cause
that.
we had
Sometimes
co-op
I feel
Because
like
they would
it's a-
leave. Some chicks would leave with like cosmetology.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
search by the time they graduated and
Right.
all of that.
See, when it was a couple of girls in our school when they graduated. They was already like sophomores in college from their college out with their credits and stuff. So that started like our junior year, senior year, and really picked up. But like when my wife was doing it, like people was damn near juniors because they'll come in during the summer. You know what I'm saying?
But that I work at a college, so that can be helpful and it can be a hindrance as well.
You don't get that many scholarships.
Well, and also, I mean, if you don't know what you want to do, but you come into college as a junior, we're gonna have a big issue because now I have to put you in advanced level courses, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do biology. Well, this is where we're at, and you're 18 years old. You're 18 years old going into a junior level course. And
I didn't even think
some students can hang, and I mean, this is college. This is not.
No, it's so different.
Yeah,
I went to college. I went to the St. Philip's.
I'm college with the early college.
I realized college was different the first time I skipped class, and nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody.
It's your grade. Because I was like literally, it was me and two of my homegirls that I met in the class. And like I think two, they had both graduated like a couple years ahead of me or whatever. So we all get there in the morning. We're like, I don't feel like it today. And it was speech class anyway. So it was like whatever. So we leave, go do the extracurriculars. You know what I'm saying? And we come back. We get back to class like the next time we had class. Ain't nobody say shit. Nobody gave a fuck. I was like, so I really gotta be
Yeah,
This is on me.
It's on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
If you want to do this,
Yeah, like, this is on me.
you
All right,
want to
got
pay
it.
us to skip class.
Yeah,
They don't care at all.
I did my undergrad at Texas State, and then I did my master's degree here at Whitman Baptist.
Oh, my wife graduated from
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My father-in-law did. It's like a big military.
Yeah,
program.
absolutely.
My father-in-law graduated from there too.
Yeah.
So one of my best friends, he's like best friend, like my brother. His little sister goes to Texas State.
Oh yeah, I love
Monster
Texas.
on the volleyball court.
Yeah.
Monster.
Texas State is
Fitzgerald.
San Marcos.
San Marcos.
Yeah.
Up the street.
I went to a party there.
I'm sure you did.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's right there by. It's right there by the
Absolutely
outlet.
I probably saw you there.
It's right, yeah, probably, right. It was right there by the outlet. I mean, you know, all the college students there. They talk. You just overhear people talking. Yeah, you know it's gonna be like.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's going on? Oh, it's
Come on by.
we having a pool party and like, you know, there was apartments right there.
Apartments everywhere.
Right, you just, all right, cool, we showing up.
I love college.
Where y'all go to school at? It don't even matter. We for the party.
We have a good time.
We for the party though.
Well, we are getting close to the seasons of Christmas. You know, I'm gonna ask you this question. Are y'all one of those people that like to put the Christmas stuff up early?
See, I believe in giving their holidays their just
Me
due.
too. Thank you.
So we don't do Christmas
So
stuff
after Thanksgiving,
Absolutely.
thank you.
because
you.
it's just
You
it's a separation. It's the holiday season,
Right.
right? We don't need to rush because it's coming, right?
Yeah.
My mom would put little stuff here and there. So like we had all this Thanksgiving fall stuff, and then she put like a small little grandma and grandma Santa, grandpa and grandma Santa. And I'm like, Santa don't go with this fall
Let's put
decoration.
that away.
Oh,
Let's put
I
that
love,
away. And then all of a
I
sudden,
love pumpkin pie and stuff. Like I want to have that apples.
and then
and-
Kwanzaa stuff started popping up. I'm like, this is only the 23rd.
No. I'm all for
Oh,
like
man.
respecting
Me too.
the holiday. Now, once Thanksgiving is over,
Yeah, we
It's
know
fair
that's the
game.
next.
It's
Now,
fair
you
game.
won't hear me. You won't hear me at all the rest of the year. You won't hear me complain or nothing. But about the holiday, you heard this thing called Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Because it's not Christmas in
No
July.
need. There's
There's
no
no
need.
need for it.
Hot. It's so hot here.
It's hot. Everybody half naked,
It's
getting
hot.
drunk.
We don't
Ain't
need
got
this.
Well, why we
Ain't got nothing to do. This had nothing to do with Christmas.
Well, while we talking about Christmas, you did get to perform at the Lighting and Kind of Word.
Yeah, like the
my
way.
youngest sister graduated from Ain't Kind of
Oh,
Word.
nice.
So that's a nice school.
Yeah, no, it was awesome because they didn't have it the same way last year with COVID. People had to drive through, so everything was back in person. Yeah, it was really, really dope. I did an hour and a half set out there, all Christmas songs.
An hour and a half?
An hour and a half.
Like, did you have backup singers?
I had some background singers. That was
Oh.
it. And but just Christmas song. And I just released a Christmas song, so I was able to perform that there.
Oh, okay.
It's called Christmas Day, and so it got a
Is
good
that a love
reception.
song?
It's like hey, we're enjoying each other on Christmas Day kind
Right,
of
right.
feel.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. So that was an amazing opportunity. It was like thousands of people sitting, people walking. The lights were beautiful. It was really dope. I had never done anything like that.
Was you nervous?
I wasn't nervous. The only thing I was nervous about was remembering the words because
An hour and a half.
all
the
these
biggest
Christmas-
thing, though.
oh my
Right.
gosh,
That's the
all
biggest
these
thing.
songs are 2 minutes, but it's like jam packed and each
Right.
verse is different and nothing. I'm like, oh, I learned some songs I didn't even know. I was like, the song Happy Holiday, which I thought was Happy Holidays. And I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do Happy Holidays. And then I looked it up, it's just Happy Holiday. And then like I didn't know any of the verse. I was like, what song is this?
What song is that? Happy Holidays.
Happy Holiday. But then it goes into like all this crazy like jazz stuff.
Oh,
So I had to learn that song, and then you think you know the words to some of the songs, and then you
That's
read
stressful.
Well, we was taught.
yeah, you know how we make up words.
Yeah.
Did you perform All I Want for Christmas? Did you?
I did not, because I'm like, that's Mariah's
That's
song.
right. Okay, yeah.
Let her have it. Let her. She
And
does
it's
it
crazy
the
because she got
best.
like 3 versions of that song that's out.
For real?
She has one with Justin Bieber, and then there's like 3 music videos for the
Wow.
song.
I didn't know
So
that.
yeah.
And it,
Yeah, that's I hear that song.
She ain't got to do nothing else but that.
she
Like,
never.
she
They
does
say
so
they
much.
said as soon as November hit that
It
song
goes into the
that's
chart.
already
It
number
goes already. But the thing is, she's also has all these other hits like that she wrote, but she
It was the holiday.
Yeah.
She probably did. That was smart. That was a smart video.
It was genius.
Yeah, but like she was the right person to do it
For the right
Right.
time, yeah.
for the right time. Like you gotta, she transcends. Like
You right, because I can't see no one else singing that song.
Nobody,
I'm
like-
gonna ask y'all this. A little controversial.
it probably ain't that kind of go. But
Mariah or Whitney?
Oh my god.
as far as what, cause now
Singing.
singing,
Just singing.
like singing, that's
Singing.
wicked, man. That's wicked.
I'm
sorry, she-
Yeah,
I see some dudes like saying who they would pick.
I kind of like them both. Cause if you
I
heard,
love them
if you
both,
see
yeah.
them, what's that song? When we believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's my
Yeah,
song. The
no.
West of Egypt.
Yeah,
When we
when
believe.
they sing together.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I grew up on Whitney, so it's just like I'm already.
See, I grew up
partial.
on both too. Cause
Yeah,
when we
both,
was in
yeah.
school,
He got
they both was
Like
pretty much
Mariah,
popping. Mariah was more.
they, you know, if you
Getting played
remember,
like our dance.
especially like late '80s, early '90s, when they had a run
Right.
that was
Absolutely.
unmatched, like,
Absolutely.
and you never heard them getting pitted against each other, nothing like that.
Because it's great
It
music.
was great music, and they were in the same lane but had their own lane at the same time.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
They have a different style.
Yeah, it's
you know?
different.
Whitney
you know?
has that churchiness,
Mhm.
R&B, and then Mariah has like that pop
R&B,
Like,
yeah.
it-
Who can
it's-
sometimes pass as a white girl. She wanted.
yeah, I mean, like,
Like,
it's different.
but I do
I
like
had
to
no
say it
idea.
like this.
I had
what
no
was she?
idea.
What
I
was
had no idea this woman was not white.
I
For the
thought she was
longest
too.
time.
And then I found out she was black, but I was like,
Yeah, and I like the fact that her mom taught her that she's black and that her mom is still in her, even though her mom is the one
Her
that's
mom
white.
was an opera singer.
Yeah.
oh, that is
Yeah,
Her mom
mom's
was
opera
Like I
singer.
forget, but she's
But it's rare that you see white people instill into their that you are black. So that was, I thought that was cool.
Well, she was gonna find out.
I know, but that's good that her mom is still in her. Oh,
So Whitney was like black.
Yeah,
Like,
she was a sister.
waiting
No,
to
have y'all-
exhale.
have y'all seen
black crack is whack black.
have y'all seen the younger photo of Whitney going around right now?
Younger photo?
Yeah, it's a younger photo of Whitney. She had to be like, high school time, something like that. But like Whitney looks very I see why.
Mhm.
Now, like Whitney's was always beautiful or whatever. But I see why dudes was on her.
Absolutely.
Like
back
that.
then.
Like back then. Because once she was real you can tell she was real wholesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At a
Grew up in
point.
church.
You grew up in church, you can tell that. But like she had this picture going, she had this smile.
Mhm.
Where it's just she had her hair like in this bun.
Mm.
It looked like a school picture. And you just be like, wow, like that's the Whitney that started out before
Oh.
The national anthem.
everything got and she said she was high as hell doing that national anthem.
Girl.
She said she
I
was
saw
high as
that.
shit.
I
She
saw that.
She was sweating like the players was and the
Yeah.
game ain't even started.
I saw that.
Some good shit.
But I mean, when you have the gifts,
That was a gift.
like,
Yeah.
it don't even.
That was
it
a
don't
gift.
even matter.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot of celebrities that like functioning alcoholics.
Absolutely.
Like, you got those people. You know what I'm
Kesha
saying?
was
So-
one.
Who?
You gotta know who Kesha is.
Yeah,
White girl Kesha.
Kesha.
She
Oh,
was signed
yeah.
to P Diddy.
Oh yeah, I
Bruno
remember.
Mars.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. It's
August Alsina.
Mm.
When he got hurt, he was off them perks.
that happens a lot though. That's like common. A lot of people get addicted to those painkillers
Yeah.
like that. They chasing that feeling that you got when you first did it. So
How did you get started into singing?
In church.
Most people.
But my parents, they played a lot of music in the house.
Do you play an instrument?
No, I actually play no instruments.
for real?
Yeah, unfortunately. I just had the
The ear for it. Okay.
And but yeah, like I grew up in a very Christian household, so like only like gospel music, only.
See, when we met each other downstairs,
You
I'm
said
like,
it right
I'm
up
on the
there,
podium.
yeah.
I'm like, first of all,
You sound like a minister.
you sound like a man. I'm like, you a minister, you man. He was like, no, I got that aura from you.
Yeah.
We should start off this episode with giving honor to God. And sing to the right? First off.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was all that I was really allowed to listen to. But going to public school, getting like, oh, look, let me get that mix CD.
Right.
So I, I always
the mix CD.
Right, the mix CD.
So what's your first R&B artist you got to listen to?
Probably Whitney, because she kind of like played that line.
Yeah,
and she didn't have no. I wouldn't say she had dirty music.
No.
I used to get woke up to the on Saturdays when it's time to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
You get woke up to either some gospel, some R&B, or some blues.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you hear that early in the morning, you're like, hey,
that's how I'm start cleaning.
my mom never done that.
For real?
That,
Crazy. She
your
never
mama
played.
never done that? That's surprising.
Like she woke us up to clean, but she didn't wake us up with music.
Really?
No, she not waking
No,
up
you
with
no.
music. You wake up.
She
The
didn't
music
no,
is
she
already
didn't wake.
on.
She didn't
There was
do
no
that.
music.
No.
Oh, wow. If I hear, are you ready? I'm like, oh.
That's crazy.
I'm like, that just ruined my whole. That just ruined my whole plan.
Yeah, it's over.
I had a plan.
Yeah.
But do y'all do that now with y'all kids?
No.
No.
I still
My
clean.
son-
I hear some music though.
I play music. I play music in the house. But it's different. It's different because now they got the little kids with their own music, so they like to listen to. What's the little girl that raps? The little young chick. She was on Wild 'N Out.
Oh, what's her name? Young, what's her name? Nene, Lele, something. Lele.
Yeah, my daughter likes her and stuff. So they listen to those, and my son just like to listen to certain music from certain Avengers.
Yeah,
movies.
working with kids,
like
man,
Sonic.
I'm a
song
big
from
Kids Bop
Sonic.
fan because I work with kids. I'm that one that like when that new Kids Bop coming out, people look at me like Kids Bop. I'm like, you don't understand Kids Bop.
Yeah, they be remaking songs.
Because you be surprised, like Kids Bop be making songs. I'm like, you make this clean.
Right.
Like break up with your boyfriend because I'm bored. Like, I was like Kids Bop. Kids Bop.
They do work.
Yeah.
They do. Now I know D always like to ask hip hop artists, "What's your first bar you wrote?" So what's your first line you ever sung or you ever wrote? Do you remember?
Ooh.
Go back. Like he's like, oh, you take me back. Your first song you ever wrote? Do you remember the first song?
Yeah. This was like.
People calling him out, put him on the spot.
Yeah, probably 2013. I'm sure I wrote some songs in high school, but they were trash. But I was in college and I wrote a song. It was like a gospel song.
Okay.
Because at one time I thought I was going to be a gospel artist.
What made you not go that route?
I don't know. I feel like I was pushing for like this gospel neo soul like lane, but I would get invited to churches and they would want like churchy.
Yeah.
But my music was gospel and content, but the sound was still like an R&B vibe.
You want that old school.
Yeah, so it was like yeah.
Yeah, I think around that time they were just starting to come around to Kirk Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little after like Mary and like Yolanda.
Oh, my mom used to play the hell out of Yolanda.
Well, we had every Yolanda album.
God.
But I used to have a version of Kirk Franklin's Brighter Day, but it was like a slowed down, like jazzy version. But people, sometimes when I was singing, people would be like, "So when you gonna get to the up-tempo part?" And I was like, "No, the whole point of this is that it's slow. Like it's supposed to be groovy."
Franklin has some R&B though. The remix to Melodies to Heaven.
Yeah.
That sounds like an R. Kelly song.
Hey, look.
All of his songs are remixes of something.
Chico Bean said this, and I couldn't you can play Melodies from Heaven anywhere.
Absolutely.
Anybody's gonna sing that song.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a universal.
It is.
It's like summertime, like Will Smith summertime.
That's why I didn't understand how when because Kirk Franklin samples all the time from R&B and hip hop, and he has no problem with it. But yet when DJ Luke Nasty sampled Melodies from Heaven,
that's because it was DJ Luke.
He was like, nah.
He didn't like
He was DJ Luke. Yeah,
I bet if somebody,
it was a clean.
He had salt
on
his pepper on his person.
If J. Cole was to do something like
Cole
that,
was
it probably would be different.
you gotta
you're gonna get
Because he had Lil Baby on the song. I'm like, that's fine. Lil Baby can be on the song with you. But
but
Lil Baby also has something out there that will that is socially acceptable. Lil Baby's a socially acceptable artist.
Right.
And on that song, like he's not cursing.
Right.
You know, like it's about weed and all that.
That's the one thing I can say about it. He's the one artist that I can say
he can do that.
He's very cognizant of his audience.
Right.
He's very cognizant. Like
Right.
he won't say certain things.
Absolutely.
If he knows that an audience is predominantly this or the setting that he's
I mean that was
he
the
won't do
Space
it.
Jam soundtrack. Like you can't go in.
Yeah, because you know who's listening.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Kirk Franklin, he has a reputation that he's trying to uphold.
Right.
And I think it was just like he was like, even for me, this is like
DJ Luke Nasty just it's not appealing.
No, it doesn't fit his brand.
Right. It's just
he works with secular artists. That's never been an issue.
Because what's it got to do too? Lecrae.
Lecrae,
he don't say himself. Yeah,
he says that.
like him, Trip.
But when he first started, though,
when he first started.
Yeah,
I know.
And
then one of my favorite artists just converted to Christian, which is not a bad thing. But he used to go by Pretty Willie, but now he goes by
Willie Moore Jr.
You can convert to Christian.
Well, not convert to Christian. Well, he used to sing R&B.
From secular
to secular.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Because you he started out with 4 walls.
Yeah.
Lay your body down. Nice. So that was a jam for us.
Oh, he Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That dude.
But he doesn't do music. He does more comedy, Christian comedy now. He doesn't.
But he doesn't like brought up like.
Well, that's the perfect. That's the
that
perfect
guy.
segue into the next thing, right? That's like going out, like kind of stepping outside the box, right? Mm-hmm. So there's had always been this long conversation of actors or whomever like doing the same type of role. How do
the two that we always
what
2 actors that we always
I'm gonna start off with no. Do I need to get to my question? No, I'm gonna get to my question. That's gonna be long.
Yeah.
How y'all speak of stepping outside of the box, because he's actually done it a couple of times, but true story. Kevin Hart's new.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it,
it's pretty good.
I highly suggest.
It's relatable too.
So it's not a comedy.
Nah.
No.
Okay.
Even on spots that
he can be funny.
He can be funny in. It ain't that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. Like you might get like a slight chuckle
because it's Kevin Hart.
Because it's Kevin Hart. He can't help how he sounds.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it's not like that. Yeah. It's a
role reversal.
It's a role. I wouldn't even say that because it got me to thinking.
Because what's the movie he played in when he was taking care of the dude?
The side.
Upside Down.
The Upside.
That was kind of a serious.
It was a serious role, but that still had comic relief to it.
It did. Yeah.
This here, it almost like Kev peeled back a layer of his life, and he let us see. Mm-hmm. I don't think.
Yeah, this was totally different.
I honestly don't think that these people that had a focal that were focal points in the storyline. Mm-hmm. I don't think these are just. I think these are people he either had recognized he had in his life and cut off at some point, or he's recognizing them now, or before it gets to that point of.
Because even The Bodyguard is reminds me of old dude.
Exactly, you feel what I'm saying? And then
the old dude got into it.
Yeah. Right. I watched the.
Do you think about that scandal?
Yeah.
That real life scandal he was in, and how that played out, Please go watch that.
It's on my list. Literally on my list.
Well, as you bring this up, we always like to ask this question: who do you feel is the better actor, Denzel Washington or Will Smith?
Oh my gosh! I saw this the other day.
Come on.
And my best friend, he said Will Smith, and I'm like, And he was like, because Will Smith is so versatile.
See, I said the same thing.
How he picks his roles. Now that's not to say
Denzel's
all
versatile in how he picks his roles. He's been in
He's
Well,
been in outer
Spence is always
space. He's been in the West. He's been.
Yeah, but that's his thing.
But
That's
how
not
many
very.
times have you been out of
He
space?
should've
But then you
Yeah.
got
The movie
like you
been out
got
of
the new
space.
one with Serena Williams now.
Right,
And
right.
then you
He does
Then
different
you got
types. of-
Okay, but then you got hit. But then you got Fences that Denzel did. That's the.
No, I'm not saying Denzel's not versatile.
You feel what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
And that was a Broadway show.
Absolutely.
Nene Anderson says she's gonna go with Denzel Washington.
Of course.
On
Yeah,
a
she's gonna
personal-
get
She's politically
fired.
correct.
On a personal level, I'm gonna pick Denzel because you pick movies like John Q, Fence,
So like, come on,
like
man. Like,
Philadelphia, like
mhm.
Remember the Titans. There's no denying the
Yeah,
Malcolm
level.
X.
There's no denying the level of skill that he has.
Right.
Period. It doesn't matter if he doesn't go to outer space or whatever. It doesn't matter. The way he takes on the role, the Equalizer. I mean, like
yeah, like come
when
on.
Denzel is in
Now
the
that
role,
was totally different. That was
was
like the
different.
true
It was
story.
different.
That was the true story of Denzel to me. Training Day, I can see Denzel doing Training Day, but the Equalizer, I didn't.
No, I did not know.
I didn't. see
Denzel and Training Day was something different.
That was different.
That
That was different.
I
too.
feel like Doug, Denzel.
But then he had American Gangster, so it was
American Gangster.
But
was
American
different.
Gangster would. Why that fit Denzel so much? Because Denzel is very sophisticated.
Absolutely.
Frank Lucas was very sophisticated.
Mhm.
You have to be sophisticated, dabbling in
So you don't think
to
nobody
a
else
drug
could have played
market in New York, and you from North Carolina.
I honestly think
Right,
that the
right.
Italians are running.
I don't think Malcolm X alone, like
Yeah, that was
that's an embodiment. You know, like that's giving your whole body, your whole self to play.
You got
a role.
into that.
And Will just hasn't given me that where I get chills. Like
Yeah.
watching
I
Malcolm
only got
X will
I
give
got
you chills.
I got chills when the movie when he's trying to be a broker or
Oh, Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
That
was like
that's an emotional time for me. I'm like, oh man. But just like on pure acting ability coming through a screen, I'm like, whoa. Like when he's standing in front of that crowd, you're like, that is Malcolm X. Like,
right, you're right.
You're
right.
like
That's
in a
true.
discussion. Like
The
that's
only thing I would say with Will, like you said, Pursuit of Happiness was relatable because at some point we've either known somebody or we've been through it with our parents.
Right.
That we know where our next meal is gonna come from and all of that. That's relatable. But like the only film like that would be in the conversation of all of those great films that Denzel did would be Ali. That's it. That's literally it.
I agree.
Because he hasn't portrayed anybody else.
I don't think that's
since
his.
then.
I don't think that's
Who do
his.
you feel like has done the best biopic so far?
Jamie Foxx.
The best biopic?
Right.
Right, yeah, right.
Did y'all see the new
Aretha Franklin one? Is that
no.
No! Is that Shay?
Who played Aretha?
Jennifer Hudson.
But there's two. Cause there's one of
Oh,
them
yeah.
where they just show the Christian
The one
life.
with Cynthia Erivo
Cynthia
is
Erivo.
really, really good.
Yeah.
The new Billie Holiday
Yes.
with Andre Day.
Yes.
That
Hey, that was strong.
I haven't
man,
seen
That was
that
strong.
was good.
Oh, yes.
That her singing,
Yeah.
again embodying that
Yes.
person.
And especially for her not to really be an actress.
That was her first thing.
It was.
That's who she's
killed
named as.
Yeah.
Like she's named as.
Yeah,
You feel
I
me?
thought
So
she
was-
did an excellent job, man. That for someone who's never acted on that level, like she jumped leaps and bounds.
My favorite scene of that movie because my favorite, so many powerful moments
Absolutely.
in that movie. You feel what I'm saying? But for me, it was at the very end
And she was chained to the bed.
when she was chained to the bed and the FBI agents were still trying to come up in there, and she told them what she told them all while smoking. She's like, "Your grandbabies are gonna be singing," and laughed their ass out the room.
She wasn't.
I was sitting on my couch like, "You fucking right."
That was
fuck y'all.
man. I feel like that's up there for me. Like
For
that was that one is so good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any rappers with just an incredible biopic.
Have they done a biopic?
I mean, they've done Tupac.
Well,
Yeah, but like you know what I'm saying? Like how y'all talking
yeah,
about?
they did Tupac.
How y'all talking about
Biggie.
the
Does the
Holiday?
Wu-Tang Saga count as a biopic?
Not really.
But see, they don't ever get the actor. Like
They all
ever
feel
get
alive.
they don't ever get those strong actors to play those roles.
They just get people that look like them.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Because anyone can look like Tupac. But
yeah,
bald
the
head
dude,
and
yeah, who
and
looked
But he kind of looked like
he
fucking
did look
sounded
like
and he sounded just like, which
just
that
regular.
irritated me too, because for the biopic, they picked Demetrius Shipp. Perfect.
Right.
But the Unsolved series, they got a totally different pop, and they got a totally different big.
Instead of
And
just keeping it with.
yeah, like they don't have the same big from Notorious.
Yeah.
They got a different big. Like the two dudes that played and picked at each other, like that, and each one, they're all in the Unsolved series. They're not even the original choices, which irritated me about that.
I think there's work to do for those hip hop biopics because it just they haven't hit. Like there isn't.
I think the best one
that
is
Tina
probably
Turner. Like
NWA was a good one.
NWA was
NWA was good.
But I think the reason
I think
why
it was
it was good
because
because
O'Shea was
they
famous
had
for
not only that too, they had the original people helping
Behind
out.
it,
Sometimes they
yeah.
don't. Like
Right, 'cause I
Tupac
think the only
died.
one that
Tupac was not there to
The
help.
only one that
Biggie
was
wasn't
there
there
was
to
Easy,
help.
right?
They had people that was around Biggie and around Tupac, but they wasn't physically there to help.
Okay, so we talking about biopics. Do we count the New Edition story?
Well, they all around. They probably have a
Yeah,
And no,
that's what I'm
because
saying,
yes,
because
New
they all
Edition,
had a hand.
they all had a hand in it, but it's not just about having a hand. It's also your production company. They let BET. I ain't say nothing about BET.
It wasn't.
BET
That shit wasn't bad at all.
bad, but you know BET is the same one that played Baby Boy all day, every day.
Baby Boy was
Yeah,
a
but
hit.
Baby Boy was a hit.
No, but was a hit.
Nah,
Baby
Baby
Boy
Boy, I
still
still
ain't-
watch Baby Boy.
What? Do you not remember the BET Awards when they brought
Yeah.
Melvin, Jody, and
Right.
Yvette out, and everybody lost their shit? That was years after that. Like,
I mean, it's classic.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Well, as an
Classic.
R&B singer, do you feel like as an R&B singer, you feel like he's a biopic now, or you want to
I
see a
think-
biopic?
Who would do your? Who would you pick to do your? If you can do a bio.
Idris Elba.
I got somebody.
Who?
David Manning.
I can see
Right.
that.
Yeah,
Yes, I see that.
Throw me in some.
I see that, man.
Politics.
Oh yeah.
Y'all about the same. Y'all just about to say I met him in person. Y'all about the same height.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks.
He
Y'all look
short.
like him, fucking be honest with you. That's the whole time. That's the
I
problem.
think
Same
that's
about
what
things.
I'm
The whole time
saying,
looking at
but
it.
yeah,
I
I
seen
can
a
see that,
dude,
David.
not to change subject, I seen a dude, speaking on lookalikes, I seen a dude, I went to go get my oil change. He looked like old dude that just lost to Jake Paul, the UFC dude.
Oh, Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, he looked the same.
Wow.
I pulled up, I said, oh
That-
boy, I'm
that's
about to
his-
say, did he beat you
that's
that
his new-
bad?
That's his new job since
He
he
beat you
lost.
that bad? You got you change the oil?
When I went to the supplement place to go look at like eat health supplements at one of my exes I was dating, and the guy there looked just like Tommy from Power, straight
Yeah.
up. I'm just like,
What?
is that fun? Doing that real stuff like.
This is so front.
Are we getting supplements and something else? Like
R&B bio.
Luther Vandross doesn't have a biopic.
He doesn't.
And they really need to make that happen.
I really do, because I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I was the only one blind to it, but I did not know Luther.
I wasn't that surprised.
I was surprised.
That's
I
like
didn't
wasn't
know.
even thinking about it.
I wasn't thinking about it when
I
I was a
didn't
kid, but as I
either.
got older and
I
I started to
didn't
hear
think about
rumors,
it.
you
And
started to
then,
notice
you
certain
know,
shit.
who was
Like,
it?
man.
Somebody did
Yeah,
an interview. Was it not Aretha?
I
It
think
was a
Patty.
I did an interview and called him out. Someone said he didn't want his business out like that.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
Patty.
50 do that all the time. 50 they call Puff, and the people don't want to believe it, but 50 is serious.
But
I-
Diddy be having
I have
proof.
a different issue.
Diddy has-
I have a different issue with Diddy.
But 50 has proof. Okay, I like that Aretha.
That'd be a whole show.
Yeah, I
He
think
needs
Luther,
somebody.
yeah, I mean, he's classic R&B, but there has been like
Diana
no-
wants something.
Yeah.
Do
Should Tracy play her? Should her daughter play her or someone else?
Who else would it be?
I think they
I think they
put
would
her up for it.
Well, you never know.
And
Because
she can sing.
Because
too.
with the
She's at
Whitney
least a good
biopic,
actress.
the
Right.
girl that did Whitney did not sing. They actually had
Yeah,
Shantae Moore
singing,
do the singing
yeah.
parts. A lot of people didn't
So
know
she
that.
lipped it.
So she lip synced.
I think even Whitney deserves like a
Better
big,
one.
yeah, you know,
Like
Yeah.
a major motion picture. Now,
yeah.
No, I think Aaliyah deserves a better one.
Oh, absolutely. They always.
But it wasn't.
The whole
They
Aaliyah
They
thing
did
has
it
been
without
messed
the
up.
family.
Her music just came out. You know, like
There's a lot
of stuff we've been waiting on for Aaliyah, and it just has.
But I feel like they really should do the biopic. I know they won't do it because they don't want to do the touchy R. Kelly situation. But they really should. It's out there, but they should. Because we knew her parents.
It's true.
Yeah. Her uncle was the road manager. How else you come on, man?
Right.
Like
I think that will do it. I think just
in time.
And then I'm pretty. I mean,
Missy Elliott.
Timberland was right
that
there.
would be a dope. Missy and
this is way after.
would be a dope
biopic. Timberland was way after R.
But I'm
Kelly.
saying, like, I know they had to know something.
No,
I'm sure.
I think everybody in that circle, like, he was already about to say some stuff about Jay-Z. I think they shut him up.
Who was?
R. Kelly.
Kelly wasn't doing this dirt by himself.
No.
I'm not just talking about the people that was just in his circle that was around him, his handlers and all that. Like I'm talking about people he rubbed shoulders with.
Right.
I have no doubt in my mind that he got people just like Epstein.
Mm.
The only reason they ain't get to the chick that's on trial now because if something happened to her, I mean y'all already got him.
Yeah.
But y'all wasn't thinking about her. She the one that got all the tell off.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was. Oh, so I don't even want to go back to the other one.
What?
This one was a good one, but with the whole Christmas.
No, we ain't gotta do all that.
Yeah.
No, we ain't
But
gotta
what's
do all
next for you? What can we see next for you, Mr. J-Darius? I know you always performing. Usually we can see you on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
At Honjo's. I found out that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
I've been calling it Janjo's.
Oh
Honjo's.
no, Honjo's.
Is what an H or a J?
It's J's,
It's with
but
the
it's
J.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Honjo's off of St. Mary's. They have R&B night every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Sometimes you're there.
Absolutely.
Then I got to see you perform at Jokesters 22.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I'll
Shout
be
out to
at Artist Musicians Hub. They have a jam session on the 12th. Meet Ote, she'll be there as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an R&B night that they're doing, kind of going into the holidays.
What day is that on?
That's on a Sunday.
Oh, we might do.
Yeah, December 12th.
Send us the information.
I
We
can take the
definitely
wife.
will try to pull it
My
up.
wife likes live music
Stuff.
and
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool vibe. So yeah, I'm just actually booking some holiday shows. So Christmas
What's your favorite
shows,
Christmas song.
Dang, that's
probably between the Holy Night and probably a bunch of other ones. But
Santa Baby by Janae Aiko. She killed it.
sensible.
B2K whole Christmas album killed it. And
Yeah,
Merry
okay.
Christmas and Happy Holidays by NSYNC.
NSYNC.
It's my top. It's my top. It's my
When
top.
did I go do?
Santa Baby
Yeah,
on the B2K Christmas album.
I wouldn't.
Oh, I
B2K fans. It's
I definitely wasn't.
I
I was listening to
I was a big
West Side
Lil
Connection
Fizz
at that
fan.
time.
I was a B2K fan.
That was all gangster rap at that time.
Did Gangsters come out with Christmas songs? Did Snoop Dogg get
West Side Connection. No, Snoop Dogg. They had a gangster.
Oh no, Duo
Yeah.
did. All I Want for Christmas is some hoes under my tree or something
Who?
like that. Duo music when they did Ice Cream
Oh.
Rain Job. I think.
No, somebody got one. Snoop
think
or
Snoop does
some of them.
have
Snoop
one.
got a one.
I think
something
Snoop
like that.
does have
Someone
one.
got a
Snoop got
gangster
everything.
Christmas
That's true.
music.
He's covered all genres.
No, seriously, like I didn't realize how much stuff Snoop is doing. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was like a Facebook post or something like somebody
Yeah.
like put a compilation thing together, and it's all recent. Of all this stuff that he's doing, like
Don't forget the gospel album with the Clock
Oh,
Sisters.
yeah,
With
yeah.
the Clock Sisters.
That's
and
right.
and
That was controversial.
It was
Yeah.
him and Rance Allen.
And Rance Allen.
Yeah,
My
me,
man.
that's the song.
rest in power.
Yes.
Good sir.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, almost not sorry for laughing. They use his soundbite.
Who, Allen? Oh yeah.
So vulgar, like, they use, fellas, y'all kind of.
Are you talking about the dude that's saying something about the name Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh, man.
When she stopped, when she keeps sucking.
I wasn't even gonna.
But that's my song though. Somebody man.
I wasn't even gonna say it, but he had to.
No, what gets me is
All
no,
day.
what makes it funny is then after they post it, they always say something like Fred Hammond. I'm like,
Oh,
this is not
man.
Fred
That's
Hammond. Oh, this is not a Fred.
I forgot about that. Hey, but these days, like speaking of Fred Hammond, these days my favorite award show is like be the Soul Train Award.
Yeah, Soul Train was really good this year.
Now, this is a controversial question because my sister posted this, and I just had to like say, give her a little credit. Ashanti, they feel like Ashanti should not have won that award.
I don't see why she could.
I
don't
said-
see why she shouldn't have.
I said she won because she wrote a lot of songs for people, trying to hand at J-Lo. And my sister did the J-Lo little gift. But I kind of get where she's coming from. There are probably other R&B singers that probably could have got it before her.
Absolutely.
But
I wasn't working.
But she had
Who was the other people that were nominated?
I don't know who
Well,
was nominated,
they
but
just
there's other
pick.
people that hasn't been.
They just pick whoever, like based on your long, your
Yeah.
long.
But that's other
journey.
people probably
Like,
haven't
are you
got it
still?
yet.
But it's like, are you still around?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
And she
but
just
I-
was on a remix to
She's on the biggest tour of the year right now. We just went to go see her
I
on
mean,
the Millennium Tour.
what song is on the radio? It's a song on the radio. It's a remix. Oh, the song with Lil Wayne.
I don't listen to the
talking
radio.
about
You still listen to the radio?
when I don't have my earbuds, so I got
I don't know about that radio.
It's unfortunate, but I got it. And they play the
But I
song.
love
saying-
Ashanti, man.
But it's a
Ashanti was
hip-hop
my
song.
song.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
had
Rain on
a
Me.
stream of hits. Like a
She
stream.
did. Still on it with
Still-
Paul Wall and what was it? Is that Method Man or Red Man on it? I don't know.
That girl.
Nah, she held her own. She
She
Held
did.
her on for
her and Ja Rule had a
Absolutely.
They did.
her and Ja Rule had a I don't see why people was they knocking Ja Rule because of the 50 thing, but if you just pay attention strictly
Music.
Oh,
Ja Rule
Ja
was
got
nobody
it.
touching
Yeah.
it.
Ja-
Nobody touching him at that time.
Hits.
And Murder Inc. had a run.
They did.
And people can say what they want to say, like I was one of those who was like, yo man, 50 killing Ja. And I was on Ja way before,
Mhm.
we was introduced to Ja through DMX. You feel what I'm saying? So I just, like you said, outside of the 50 thing, and even during it,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was still
Ja was still holding this thing, and Murder Inc. There was nothing that you can't even say you was a 50 fan and not a Ja Rule fan at the same time.
Nah, you
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
you
Because
definitely
you
was
like,
both.
dang.
I think-
and when-
Ja Rule had a song with Bobby Brown.
But I think
and it was a hit.
I think what happened what happened was 50 Cent was just persistent. Like he wasn't going. He was like a pit
He's a
bull.
bully.
Like he was. And then Fat Joe and Jadakiss tried to jump on New York, and he was like, "Oh, y'all gonna help? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get y'all too. Let him die."
But he said the reason he did it like that was because he liked the song.
Mm.
Like if you
I'm from New York.
if you go look at his
Yeah.
kind of Caravan interview
Yeah.
around the time that him and Fat Joe squashed their beef, this what but like a couple
No,
years ago.
it was. He said it on a recent one too.
Yeah,
It
he was
on a
like,
recent one.
he's like, I like the song, so he's like, cause I didn't like it, I wouldn't have.
Right.
I just let that ride. I
Right.
gave him no energy, but it was like
A
that.
New York song, and he's from New York, so and he wasn't on there.
And the
You
dude
about the
that,
only one that wasn't.
and the dude representing Jamaica Queens, the dude that he beefing with, is on. I mean, come on, man, like he had to say something.
Yeah.
He felt like he had to.
R&B beef? Ain't nobody beefing in R&B?
The only beef we had wasn't really beef. When Jacquees was trying to be the king of R&B.
Oh yeah, everybody was
Who do you
like,
feel like is the king of R&B? That's
I
it.
think it's still R. Kelly.
who's currently out, or
Oh.
like
Both past
uh
and new. You feel like
Okay, so generation.
yeah.
Who's
I
the
mean,
generational? Who's the generational GOAT?
Chris Brown is at
Ooh.
the top.
Yeah.
I mean,
That dude is.
he is on anything that he is
But is he
on.
the king of R&B or can't call him the king of pop like Michael?
No, he make R&B.
He's a
music.
king.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's too R&B not to be R&B for me.
Yeah.
Like, and even like how he introduces, us to new artists and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
With features and stuff. It's like he's kind of like the Drake of, I feel like they're comparable.
Yeah.
It's like you get that cosign from Drake, you get that cosign from Chris Brown. Like, you're on
Yeah.
your way, or I'm giving you a hit.
Yeah.
You'll have
Yeah,
this
at least
one
get you in
hit.
the door.
Absolutely.
Like if you like take for instance, like Yellow Beezy, right?
Mhm.
Dallas rapper. Yellow Beezy big,
Mm.
but I guarantee you, he became much bigger once he went on that tour with Chris Brown.
Right.
Because you for one, you may be used to performing in front of maybe 10 to 15,000 at any given time.
Brown?
Brown.
When you get into the
Stadium.
80s.
You get into the 80s, and
Stadium.
average 65,000. Like, I'll average 40, 50. I'll say that.
Same thing with her when she was opening up Chris Brown. Like, she was big, but she went on that tour with Chris Brown, and then she's been gone ever since.
I respect artists like that. That's one of the things I do respect from Drake, even though I don't really listen to a lot of his music, is that when an upcoming artist is coming in and he like him, he gonna work. He usually works with him, he gives him that next jump.
Look at Giveon. As soon as he did that, Chicago, like,
right,
boom, like, he hasn't looked back. He's been doing songs with Justin Bieber. Like,
that's what song? He has a song. I think I know what you're talking about.
the Peaches song
Is that what?
with Justin Bieber.
Okay, yeah.
Giveon and Caesar.
Yeah, I mean, I still listen to old R&B. I don't really don't even listen to new R&B. It's not the same to me.
Well, if you want to listen to new R&B, you got to get into some right now. We're going to have Mr. J-Darius perform his song in a bit, so make sure you stay tuned.
You want to play yo?
I have a quick question. My name is Pablo from Mexico.
Buenos dias.
I've been hearing a lot about your group. They've been saying y'all weren't gonna make it to season 3. Can y'all, put something towards that?
People only say that when they feel threatened. They know we on. They know we on their heels. That's why they say that.
Yeah. So what makes y'all the best podcast?
What You Ask Podcast is the best because we're going to give y'all the realness, the rawest opinions when y'all ask us the questions.
Facts. Facts. Get it.
You know I'm a boss if you checking facts. You know I've been on since the cabbage patch. If your music don't hit, then don't send me that. And my only rebuttal is where you ask. You know I'm a boss if you checking facts. You know I've been on since the cabbage patch. And if your music don't hit, then don't send me that. And my only rebuttal is where you ask.
Oh, Blue Gun.
Oh, yeah. It was on. I don't know what happened. Coming over my new R&B album.
The classic.
I'm Casey. And JoJo.
You see the mic? I'm gonna make me an R&B song.
Please don't. Is you professional?
I've been singing since Drew Hill.
Oh, since Drew Hill.
We were 5 steps
For me, tight.
my favorite group of all time.
Oh, Drew Hill. You gotta do the. Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all gotta do the bounce.
Like I still like Jagged Edge and all that, but Drew Hill is just like it was just different.
But who had the best song on the Soul Food soundtrack? Drew Hill or Boyz II Men, Mama?
Boyz II Men had Mama. That was you wouldn't top that.
That's true, but that's
Every Mother's Day. That's what we get. Yeah, but Mama though. You ain't gonna go against.
That's when that
Get your mama.
Right.
That is
We had a game night. We had a game night.
You letting your woman do it?
But when they had the Spanish version of Mama, that's when
Not saying like
we're about to have the performance in
I
a little
thought you
bit. We
said when I
getting
let
set
my
up.
woman do that, and I thought about it for a second, and I looked at it. Man, if you don't get your ass above my inner thigh, nigga.
Y'all like this shit called Touched by Melanin God. This is
Oh yeah, I seen him. He does the booty webs and all that.
these ain't the same people.
No.
That dude is in Vegas.
No, that dude, I don't know what's going on.
No,
So you gonna let your wife do that?
Hell no, I ain't let nobody do
Insecure.
She don't even want to.
Insecure.
Nobody.
That's about being insecure.
Now, no.
Insecure.
Nah, but these today.
No, this is my thing. I'm gonna let you know. Y'all worried about these men wearing the inner thigh. What you really need to worry about is these women who do these Brazilian waxes.
What?
That's what you need to worry
That
about.
don't even make sense.
No, they do happy endings. That's why they go
They
get
do
it.
happy
They do happy
endings.
endings.
That's why they happy. What you mean? You upset with their happiness?
As a married man, you're not gonna convince 3 married men that it's okay for their woman to get one of those massages. You're not gonna do it.
No.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because
Are y'all doing them?
that's not happening.
Are y'all giving them out to your wife?
What,
I
massage?
get
Like that?
Yes, all the time.
If you ain't giving it out, then they gonna seek it somewhere else.
That's different. That's
We
we
not
didn't
even-
go
that's
to
not
a
even-
massage.
that's not even
We
the
did
same
couples
thing.
massages. We did couples massages. That's not the same massage. You
Mic
did
check.
at a couples
That's
massage.
2 people, because they do it for
We
dudes
know.
too. Like they're females.
You
that
gonna
do
press
it.
play
This
for
is
me?
Atlanta.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, cause I've seen the ones
I
with
wanna
guys
know
that
your
they
name,
done,
man.
like for
I wanna know if you're trying to. I wanna know. I wanna know everything. I wanna know your number
I don't
and
know
I can't come on
how
my
I'm
end.
selling this.
Wanna know what you like. I wanna know. Keep what you say. I'm just a friend. Saying I'm just a friend. Oh baby, what?
You got what I need.
What?
Feedback on the thing.
What you say? I'm just a friend. Oh baby.
Was that Mario, right?
Yeah.
And you know what song? We'll never get old.
There's Marquis.
We know the original. We were talking about the one I was singing was Mario. But you know who recorded that song before Mario? Usher. There's a demo out. Go listen to it.
Probably so.
It don't sound the best.
Look, that song by Mario. You Should Let Me Love You would never get old.
You a dime plus 99. So she's a price of a Mac chicken. You a
That's
dime
over 100.
plus 99.
You think he thought
He didn't say 99 cents.
He did it.
He didn't say 99 cents.
No, he did it.
He could have made 99.
Bro, either way you slice it,
You a dime plus.
it's either less or more.
No, in between.
It doesn't
You
work.
a dime plus 99.
We just need one mic. We need two.
It just rhymed.
$99. What's a dime? What is that?
Oh,
okay.
So we about to get into this live performance. We have
That's what not quite there.
about to get into this live performance right now. We have J-Darius performing his song Eternity. Stay
I
tuned.
like the song. Ready?
I'm ready.
Tell me you notice me from across the room. And doesn't this music make you feel so good? Come and dance with me. Let's make memories. We can live forever. Come and dance with me. Let's make memories. For eternity. Oh, this moment feel like deja vu.
imagine life without you. Come dance with me. Come dance with me, my baby. Come dance with me. Come dance with me, my baby. Come dance with me. Come and dance with me, my baby. My baby. Let's make all memories forever. Eternity. Come dance with me. Come dance with me, my baby. Come dance with me. Come dance with me, my baby. Come dance with me. Come and dance with me, my baby. My baby.